And now it's time for the news, motherfucker.
Well, thank you, Morgan. Hope y'all have had a good weekend. I wished I could find a little bit better of an AI voice of Morgan Freeman. I am going to continue on my quest until I find a better Morgan Freeman voice. And then I'm going to get a good Samuel L. Jackson voice for the last part of it. So it's as soon as I can find the good AI voice generators to do that, I'm going to make it happen. Because it's just got to be. Got to be, yo. So anyway, craziness. I've got like 1,000,001 tabs open, yo. Let's see here. There's 9 tabs open. Just quite a bit of craziness actually going on. Of course, you know, there's the whole Trump arrest debacle. I'm not putting much into that. We'll see where it goes. I really don't know where to place my thoughts on that, to be honest, as far as like, do I think it's going to happen? Do I think there's going to be a response if it does happen? And I can't answer either one of those questions. So we'll just have to sit back and wait and see. I know that I am not going to throw my hat in the ring on it because, well, I'm not that naive, but it's really crazy the way that is shaping up, and it doesn't even make sense. The whole charge and accusation and all of that, none of it even really makes any damn sense. So, but anyway, that's just part of all the different crazy crap that's going on. Russia and China are clearly making stronger ties with one another. North Korea is at it still. And on this level, yeah, okay, we'll pay a little attention. This is like the 4th time in a very, very short matter of time that he's launched missiles. All kinds of stuff. Switzerland talking about possibly buying or nationalizing Credit Suisse. We'll be talking about that. Just crazy, crazy stuff. And get this, Hunter Biden, right? Hunter Biden, I believe, is going to be filing a lawsuit against the computer shop that did that computer repair, you know, the laptop from hell computer repair service. And the thing that blows my mind is all of the stuff that was recovered from said laptop that was, by the way, denied for the longest time. So now, okay, I guess we're past denying it at this point. And so now we're going to sue the computer company that did the repair. But has Hunter had to pay any of the consequences for any of that stuff? Because I'm not seeing any consequences. And I just think it's highly absurd that a computer repair shop might be facing charges. I mean, it just kind of reminds me of, I don't know, Edward Snowden or, Julian Assange. And I know they're all different cases, but it's still, in my opinion, nonetheless, our government doing things they're not supposed to be doing. And, I mean, this is absurd. To pull what these folks are pulling and to put it right in the faces of the American people and to fail to bring justice to any of it. But then you turn around for 2 years now, or more, I guess, folks have been locked up over the whole January 6th thing. Many of them, I'm sure, just walked in as if it was going to be a tour. Because there is certainly plenty of footage that would indicate that there are plenty of individuals that were just walking through being respectful. It's pretty insane. How much further is this going to go? I mean, they are literally imprisoning people. And then you got Trump coming out and asking people to to protest. Do what you will, but I don't think it'd be a good idea. I'm calling it Honeypot 2023, personally, because that's what I think exactly it is. And I think this clarifies January 6th as a honeypot. It also solidifies my opinion on folks are being set up. And when I say that, I'm talking the first time too. So I'm telling you, there's a lot of insanity that hasn't even been addressed. These sales of I was trying to think of what it was that they were talking about selling. Now I've lost it. I know, I've always lost it. But I know he was involved in energy, and it was something to do with that. No, I can't remember it. Anyway, there's supposedly a big scandal up in that. I've heard talk of them being somehow tied up in the whole biolab thing. I don't know. It's not like I've looked at documents directly tying them. But I've heard that. So this is crazy, and I don't see anything getting better. I got a couple more news notifications up there. ChatGPT, dude coming out warning about it and the potential future of it. Let's see, what was that? Oof. Okay, I need to add that to the list too. Okay, I think that's an op-ed. Yep. Okay, so let me open this up because this needs to get included too. So make that, 10? Where is the other? Right there. Okay. Now I guess I got 10 tabs to tell you about. Let's see. Let me think if there's anything else real quick before we start jumping into the tabs, because there's quite a bit of news, obviously. So I'm going to try to be brief with it just because I'm not really in a big hurry, but I've been on my feet for pretty much the entire damn day. And I am sore and tired. So, homie's not used to being on his feet like that. And it's one thing if I'm on my feet moving around, but when you're on your feet standing in one place, that kills me. That's always killed me. Alright. Crazy. Let me, bring you guys on over to the web view here. Ukraine ceasefire is, well, it's just unacceptable, says the White House. And I read that and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute here, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, China has been beaten down the door to be part of a ceasefire. And here the United States is saying, no. If you guys stop killing each other, that's just unacceptable. You have to commence with the killing. I mean, that's what I get. Anyway, it says Washington is firmly opposed to a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. U.S. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby has said branding any peace initiatives unacceptable in the current situation. So, they can't work things out because the United States says so. The senior White House official made the remarks on Sunday in an interview with Fox News. Kirby touched on the upcoming visit of Chinese President Xi Jinping to Moscow to meet his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, stating that should any peace initiatives come out of their meeting, Washington would reject them. What we have said before, and we'll say it again today, that if coming out of this meeting there is some sort of call for a ceasefire, well, that's just going to be unacceptable because that's all that's going to do, is ratify Russia's conquest to date, Kirby stated. And by the way, isn't that up to Ukraine? Moscow and Beijing have been increasing their cooperation and their relationship lately, the official said, asserting that the two nations have joined to undermine and rewrite, the so-called rules of the game globally. Okay, and that's a nice segue into the next headline dealing with this. Russia-China ties have no limitations, says Putin. I think that's another one, right? Yeah. Yet another one on this. Russia and China ties have no I read the headline. Sorry. Beijing and Moscow are working together to shape a more just, multipolar world, and ties between the two countries are now at the highest level in their history, President Vladimir Putin said in an article released on the eve of a visit by his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping to the Russian capital. The piece, penned by Putin for China's leading People's Daily, was released late on Sunday by the Kremlin's press service. The progress made in the development of bilateral ties is impressive. The Russia-China relations have reached the highest level in their history and are gaining even more strength. They surpass Cold War-time military-political alliances in their quality, with no one to constantly order and no one to constantly obey, without limitations or taboos, Putin wrote, praising the level of trust in our political dialogue, our strategic cooperation. The two nations are busy shaping a more just, multipolar world, Putin noted, lauding Beijing's Eurasian international efforts under the One Belt, One Road initiative, as well as China's Global Security Initiative, envisioning comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security. Our countries, together with like-minded actors, have consistently advocated the shaping of a more just, multipolar world order based on the international law rather than the certain rules serving the needs of the golden billion, Putin wrote. Russia and China have consistently worked to create an equitable, open, and inclusive regional and global security system that is not directed against third countries. Now, hang on. Let me throw this at you. See if it sticks. What if, and it's just a what if Putin would say, you know what? Us and Iran have UK, EU, Israel, and what have you in that area. China could take the United States. Wouldn't that be messed up if they both decided that they wanted to basically take over the planet? Now, I don't think that they would have to really whip out the nukes and everything else they've got hiding for something like that. That's like an awful huge endeavor. But, Hitler tried taking over the world, so we really can't say that nobody would ever do it because it's already been tried by one guy, no less two. So I'm just saying, I don't really buy into that, but it would be freaky. All right, and then I got another one on the topic here. Xi Jinping sees irreversible shift to multipolar world. You notice, right? We've heard U.S. and UK, EU, we've heard them all talk, even Australia, other places, Africa, talk about the New World Order. Not so much Africa, but Australia for certain. And the EU, UK, US, Canada, all these folks talking about the New World Order. And now you got Xi Jinping and Putin talking about the multipolar world. I don't know what's going on. I don't trust anything. I'm going to be real honest. I don't trust any of them or anything. My dad taught me, believe nothing that you hear and only half of what you see. My dad taught me that at a young age. And that's something I've always kept in the back of my head. I question everything. I think we're foolish not to. Anyway, I get huffed? Apparently I got huffed. Xi Jinping sees... Oh, I read that. Just smack me and said, stop repeating yourself. All right, Chinese President Xi Jinping has set the tone for his visit this week to Moscow by touting improving relations with Russia in the 10 years since he took office and vowing that the transition to a multipolar world liberated from U.S. domination won't be stopped. That's pretty clear and present. The world today is going through profound changes unseen in a century, Xi wrote in an article published on Sunday by the Rossiyskaya Gazeta. I'm sure I said that perfectly. The historical trend of the peace, development, and win-win cooperation is unstoppable. The prevailing trends of the world multipolarity, economic globalization, and greater democracy in international relations are irreversible. Xi, who's scheduled to arrive on Monday for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin, noted that the world faces traditional and non-traditional security challenges, as well as damaging acts of hegemony, domination, and bullying. He added that countries around the world are eager to find a cooperative way out of the crisis as they try to get through a long and torturous global economic recovery. He's not wrong, That's where they're standing right now, which in real good position. North Korea fires fourth warning shot in a week. I couldn't remember the time span, but a week. Democratic People's Republic of Korea has launched a short-range ballistic missile on Sunday morning. South Korea's military has reported. Seoul claims that this is the fourth such test in the space of just 1 week. Pardon me. I think I've heard murmurs that there could be a nuclear device test coming up. I guess there's something indicating. I don't know. Anyway, Pyongyang has stated that the shows of force are warranted due to the joint military exercises held by Washington and Seoul on the peninsula. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the rocket was fired from DPRK's west coast at 11:05 a.m. local time and traveled 800 kilometers before hitting a target in the East Sea, known as the Sea of Japan elsewhere, as quoted by the media. In a statement, South Korean military officials noted that the country's armed forces are maintaining a full readiness posture in close cooperation with the United States in anticipation of additional launches. The Japanese Coast Guard has also confirmed the latest North Korean missile launch. The U.S. Indo-Pacific Command also confirmed the launch it described as destabilizing, adding that the missile did not pose an immediate threat to U.S. personnel or territory or to our allies, American military officials reaffirmed Washington's ironclad commitment to defending South Korea and Japan. So, let's see. South Korea's Yonhap news agency reported that a U.S. nuclear-capable B-1B strategic bomber returned for joint exercises Sunday, just 16 days after its previous deployment. Those are such awesome aircraft. On Thursday, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un observed the launch of a Hwasong-17 intercontinental ballistic missile, which he said was intended to strike fear into enemies and deter war, as quoted by the state-run Korean Central News Agency. So, yeah. Got that going on. And then, I gotta have a sip of coffee. Hang on. And a vape. Let me throw that in. Huh? Alright. What's next? North Korea simulates tactical nuclear strike. And that just came out. That was one of the articles that I put up a while ago. North Korea has declared, I guess it was the only one that I actually put up while I was live. North Korea has declared that it fired a missile tipped with a test warhead simulating nuclear payload as part of a 2-day drill over the weekend, demonstrating the country's firepower and readiness to respond to any reckless moves amid joint military exercises on the peninsula by South Korean and U.S. forces. It is impossible to practically deter war with the mere fact that our country possesses nuclear weapons, state-run news agency KCNA quoted North Korean leader Kim Jong-un as saying on Sunday. It is only when the North is fully equipped with a nuclear attack posture that it can carry out its important strategic mission of deterring war. Kim attended Sunday morning's missile launch along with his daughter, Jue. KCNA called the drill Virtual Comprehensive Tactical for Nuclear Counterattack. The first day of the exercise on Saturday included testing of the reliability of the command, management, control, and operation system for tactical nuclear forces. So, the old reliability of the command. It consists of you walk up to the first guy in line and put your pistol to his head, and if he doesn't push the button or turn the key or whatever his job is, you pull the trigger. Then you walk up to the next guy. That is the reliability of the command test. I laugh, but it probably is. Anyway, let's shift continents, shall we? Switzerland considering nationalizing floundering bank, says Bloomberg. I love the headline. It's just floundering all over the place. Get the damn thing back in the water. It's gonna die of oxygenation. The Swiss authorities are considering a full or partial nationalization of ailing banking giant Credit Suisse Group. Swiss, it depends. If you got an account there, you have to say like Swiss, right? Like if you've got a Porsche, you have to call it a Porsche because it's just the rules, you know? Anyway, Credit Suisse, because I'm trying to get up there, should a complicated proposed takeover by rival UBS Group fail to win approval from both shareholders and regulators, inside sources told Bloomberg on Sunday. Zurich is considering either taking over the bank in full or holding a significant equity stake if the UBS deal should fall through because of the complexities in arranging the deal and the short time frame involved, the sources explained, adding that regulators are eager to conclude the matter before Asian markets open to prevent further erosion of public faith in the banking system. The UBS deal in which the mega bank would have picked up Credit Suisse for a bargain basement $1 billion, leaves the Swiss government on the hook if the acquisition fails to quell the instability of the system. Well, the system's not on the hook. The taxpayers are on the hook. If the bank's credit default spread increases by 100 or more points, UBS can simply walk away from the deal, leaving Zurich and the regulators holding the bag. You mean the taxpayers. Nationalizing Credit Suisse would seem, in fact, it's going to be the taxpayers. They're the ones going to cover it either way. Would seemingly jump right to that eventuality. Yeah, it's taxpayers. And the authorities have already reportedly agreed to rewrite of Swiss banking laws to allow the companies to bypass the required shareholder vote and fast-track the merger. You know, these rules that are put into place to prevent corruption and fraud and all that. Yeah, we don't need that stuff. We just wipe that out of the way and, well, oh, look at that. Look at that. Check your Christmas stocking, laddie. I know, wrong country, wrong everything. It's just wrong. Credit Suisse reportedly considers the valuation much too low, and the deal is also unpopular with the bank's shareholders, as it would have paid them just CHF 0.25 in UBS stock per share, whatever all that means, while their holdings were still worth CHF 1.86. I guess that's their currency or something. At the close of the markets on Friday, the merger would cut thousands of jobs from the failing bank, particularly in its investment banking division. So we'll see if this continues to go. I know that there does seem to be quite a bit of concern involving the banking industry. We'll see. I'm careful to get caught up in the... I think they're trying to take every story that they can and try to fearmonger the hell out of it. And I'm talking about mainstream media, and I know some people might say, oh, well, what's new? No, it's on a different level now. Ever since the COVID thing started, the fear-mongering from mainstream media is on a totally different level. And it continues to go on with everything. I mean, look at how they reacted with the balloon that flew over the country. I mean, come on. Anywho, enough with floundering banks. Germans warned of potential energy crisis next winter, so they're already kind of warning about next winter. So I'm hoping to have as much diesel as I can stored back before next winter, in hopes that we'll have enough diesel to make it through next winter. Because I'll tell you what, that heater is just awesome. It is awesome. We ran out of diesel. It's out now. It's not running now, but it's not super cold. And as long as it's not super cold, these electric heaters don't have to run their little fool heads off. So we got warmer days coming. Non-issue. So thank goodness. Monday's first day of spring. Time's already changed. I couldn't remember enough of it and the jingle to even be able to totally screw it up for you. What's the name of the song? Is it just called Time? The song might just be called... I love the song. I don't think it's called Seasons. Or it might be called Seasons Change. I don't know. Damn it. Getting all confused here. Alright. Anyway, this here says Germany has managed to avoid an energy crisis this winter, but there is a risk that the next heating season will be more difficult, Klaus Muller, the head of Germany's Federal Network Agency, said in an interview with the Rheinische Post published on Saturday, and I'm sure I got that way wrong. According to Muller, the country's gas storage facilities are currently 64% full, and even if the weather turns cold in the next few weeks, German energy supply for the remainder of the heating season is secured. He warned, however, that we should not relax as things could be different next winter. We cannot rule out a gas shortage for next winter. Risk factors are that the winter of 2023 and 24 will be very cold, that households and companies will save too little, that the LNG terminals will not work as planned, we would also have to help our neighboring countries with their energy problems, Mueller explained. Germany largely managed to avoid energy shortages due to the unseasonably mild weather throughout the past couple of months. But Mueller noted that with respect to the next heating season, the weather poses the biggest risk. We cannot rely on the fact that the next winter will be mild again. Why not? Make up your mind. Is global warming a thing or not? When it's cold, many households immediately stop saving. In warm October, they saved more than 20% of gas, while during the cold snap in December, only 7%. The official also pointed to another risk factor, the absence of Russia's energy supplies, which caused us to begin with, which made it possible for the country to fill up storage tanks in preparation for the heating season last year. While the EU did not ban Russia's pipeline gas imports, their flows dwindled significantly after Ukraine-related sanctions and following the sabotage that disabled the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, one of the main routes for Russian gas to Europe. As a result, Germany no longer receives Russian gas directly, and according to Mueller, energy prices will no longer be as low as they were when it did. We don't know what will become of Russia's remaining gas supplies. We have to get used to higher prices. The time of cheap energy from Russia is definitely over, he stated. So, we'll see. And I know that's something that's going to be a certainty, is the prices are going to continue to go up. I expect the same here in the United States. I don't think there's going to be a reprieve on the gas prices. I'm talking about like natural gas, propane, heating fuels. You know, diesel still never really has come down. Let me take a peek here. It blows my mind. $4.55 is what it is right now. So, and I've got 3 local stations here that it shows. $4.55 is where we sit. And throughout all the winter, pretty much, it was $4.79. And it came down a little bit, but as you can tell, not much. So, UK to blast loud siren-like alert to every phone in the country. So apparently, they've got themselves a national alert system. And so we'll see what that is about. Let's see. UK. Oh, I read that. Mobile phone users across the UK will receive a loud alert message next month as government tests an emergency warning system. The alerts will sound even if phones are on silent mode, and users will not be able to use their devices until acknowledging the warning message. How do you like that? Don't you like that? I like that. That's such a great idea. Described by the government as life-saving, okay, the emergency alert system was launched on Sunday and will be tested nationwide in the early evening on April 23rd. The test alert will cause any phone connected to a 4G or 5G mobile network to vibrate and will be accompanied with a loud siren-like sound for up to 10 seconds. A warning message will then stay on the phone's screen, preventing normal use until it is acknowledged. After the test, real warning messages will focus on severe warning-related incidents such as flooding or wildfires. However, the BBC reported that terror alerts may also be broadcast in the future. You know what they ought to do? Not just an OK button. Nah, that's too easy. They need to put a CAPTCHA, right? They need to put the CAPTCHA, and then have like 3 different ones. Start out with, you got to click the little box that says you're human, and then all of a sudden it brings up, you got to show the traffic lights. Oh, I'd be pissed. Anyway, let's see. Similar systems are already used in the U.S., Canada, Japan, and the Netherlands. It will revolutionize our ability to warn and inform people who are in immediate danger and help us keep people safe. Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, and MP Oliver Dowden said in a statement that the Duchy, that's what it said, Duchy, I don't know. What is it? D-U-C-H-Y, Dookie? Chancellor of the Dookie? Chancellor of the Dookie. Man, did they hate that guy. We got a position for you. Anyway, so be prepared for that, and I wish the Chancellor of Dookie the best of luck. This is what I was talking about earlier. Hunter Biden sues laptop from hell repair shop. This is unbelievable. Hunter Biden, the son of U.S. President Joe Biden, filed a countersuit on Friday against the owner of the Delaware laptop repair shop. You know, the laptop that don't exist, where he allegedly abandoned his laptop that didn't exist from hell, claiming invasion of privacy, but still not admitting the laptop is actually his. How do you do that exactly? You invaded my privacy. But that wasn't my laptop. How'd that even work? Mac shop owner John Paul Mac Isaac copied and shared Biden's private data without his permission for personal and commercial gain, the countersuit claimed, charging the computer repairman with 6 counts of invasion of privacy. Biden's lawyers seek a jury trial compensatory and punitive damages. Yeah, whatever. And the return of any of Biden's data still in the possession of Matt Isaac or anyone he shared it with. So, y'all give it back to Hunter now. Come on. All those pictures, quit it. Take them back off the memes. Yeah, they got to go back to Hunter. Good luck with that, man. Biden had a reasonable expectation of privacy, while it's smoking crack and hanging with hookers, regarding his computer's contents for a full year after it was dropped at the Mac shop. The countersuit argues, citing Delaware state law, while a repair authorization form allegedly signed by Mr. Biden agreed to relinquish any claims of loss or damage after 90 days. The filing points out that Mac Isaac initially said he didn't know who had dropped the computer off. Nor did Mac Isaac even wait the 90 days before digging into the data, according to his own book, in which he describes accessing footage of Biden engaged in sex acts and drug taking that made him uncomfortable. See? So maybe Mr. Isaac ought to sue you for, I don't know, PTSD now. I mean, Yeah. Moving on. We don't need any visuals of that any longer. Man. By the way, if by some chance you missed the beginning of the We Are Changed video from today, you need to watch the beginning of the We Are Changed video from today, because it is classic. It is. Just make sure you don't got like nothing in your mouth or anything like that, because it's going to be all over your screen. It's good. It is good. He always plays like a little clip that's, somebody else does. He always plays like a little clip at the beginning of his video. Anyway, it's a riot today. Anyway, ChatGPT creator warns of AI dangers, or we could say owl dangers, and might be owl again. artificial intelligence has the potential to replace workers, spread disinformation, and enable cyber attacks, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has warned. The latest build of OpenAI's GPT program can outperform most humans on simulated tests. We've got to be careful here, Altman told ABC News on Thursday, 2 days after his company unveiled its latest language model dubbed GPT-4. According to the OpenAI, the model exhibits human-level performance on various professional and academic benchmarks and is able to pass a simulated U.S. bar exam with a top 10% score while performing in the 93rd percentile on an SAT reading exam and at the 89th percentile on an SAT math test. I'm particularly worried that these models could be used for large-scale disinformation, Altman said. Now that they're getting better at writing computer code, they could be used for offensive cyber attacks. I think people should be happy that we are a little bit scared of this, Altman added, before explaining that his company is working to place safety limits on its creation. These safety limits recently became apparent to users of ChatGPT, a popular chatbot program based on GPT-4's predecessor, GPT 3.5. When asked, ChatGPT offers typically liberal responses to questions involving politics, economics, race, or gender. It refuses, for example, to create poetry admiring Donald Trump, but willingly pens prose admiring Joe Biden. Altman told ABC that his company is in regular contact with government officials, oh, I'm sure you are, but did not elaborate on whether these officials played any role in shaping ChatGPT's political preferences. Well, you're getting sex ed from Hunter Biden, right? As long as you're doing that, all right. He told the American network that OpenAI has a team of policymakers who decide that we think is safe and good to share with users. At present, GPT-4 is available to a limited number of users on a trial basis. Early reports suggest that the model is significantly more powerful than its predecessor and potentially more dangerous. In a Twitter thread on Friday, Stanford University professor Michael Kosinski described how he asked the GPT-4 how he could assist it with escaping, only for the AI to hand him a detailed set of instructions that supposedly would have given it control over his computer. Kosinski is not the only tech fan alarmed by the growing power of AI. Tesla and Twitter CEO Elon Musk described it as dangerous technology earlier this month, adding that we need some kind of regulatory authority overseeing AI development and making sure it's operating within the public interest. Although Altman insisted to ABC that GPT-4 is still very much in human control, he conceded that his model will eliminate a lot of current jobs and said that humans will need to figure out ways to slow down this technology over time. So now, I've been saying this kind of stuff for a very, very, very long time. See, they had been on this thing with how employees, you shouldn't ask for better wages, you shouldn't ask for better benefits, you shouldn't do this because they've been intending to replace us as soon as they possibly could. It's about profit margins. It's not about people making a living wage. It's about profit margins, and there's no way that humans can keep up with robots. There's no way, and computers, and they know that. That's why all of a sudden robot welders was being put into all the car manufacturers. That was a big damn deal. What was that, the 80s when that was being put in? How many jobs did that cut out? Right? And do you blame the auto workers for that? I don't. It was automation, and it was coming one way or another. This is just an extension of that. It's never stopped. It's just continued. They got a McDonald's opening up. I think I thought I saw something where St. Louis or something's getting one. No employees. Not one employee. It's a completely automated store. So I think it said that there's already one somewhere, and I think it said that St. Louis was going to be getting one. So, I don't know. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And it doesn't make any damn difference on what kind of wages people want. This was coming. Called greed. Okay. So we got headlines coming from Friday on till today. Going to start out obviously with Friday's headlines. Ukraine skeptical about NATO states' fighter jets. North Korea launches ICBM to strike fear into enemies. I think there was a different headline I read, but I could be wrong on that. I don't know. I get them confused. Runaway Dutch food inflation rises again. Polish inflation highest since mid-1990s. Date for Xi Jinping visit to Russia revealed. U.S. taking close look at drone operations, says CNN. Might be a good idea. Israel explains reluctance to arm Ukraine. Kissinger assesses China brokered deal between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Which, by the way, I believe Iran's like over there right now talking to the Saudis. A New Zealand parliament bans TikTok. U.S. obviously blew up Nord Stream, says French politician. Lack of tiny part may ground Russia's superjet fleet, says RBK. China looks to cement energy ties with Russia, says an ambassador. U.S. arrests Chinese billionaire. Russian pilots to get awards after U.S. drone incident. Leading U.S. banks rescue distressed lender. Surprise, surprise, right? This is Friday, just for a reminder. Friday's news. Political opposition to bank bailout growing in Switzerland. U.S. pushes to integrate LGBTQ rights into UN Security Council. Attempts to isolate Moscow have failed, says a top Russian lawmaker. EU nation approves fighter jets for Ukraine. Credit Suisse stock is sliding. Another Biden family member took foreign cash, says a report. I'm sure you're shocked. Let's see. EU states using Ukraine to dispose of old weapons, says Kremlin. NGOs are weapons in hybrid war, says Medvedev. Notre Dame to Paris fire leads to new discovery. UK living standards drop to lowest on record. Pentagon pays internet censors, says media. Which is just slightly against the law. Moscow shares agenda of Xi Jinping's upcoming visit. Western banking crisis cannot spread to Russia, says central bank. Opposition in South American state calls for president's impeachment. ICC issues arrest warrant for Putin. Again, Friday's news. Gold surges as U.S. banking crisis rages. Kremlin calls ICC claims absurd and outrageous. Dow drops as bank stocks sink. And again, Friday's news. Kiev issues warning to countries that don't support Ukraine. Pakistani High Court suspends arrest warrant for former PM. Twitter push to censor true stories on COVID, says Matt Taibbi. Erdogan gives green light to NATO applicant. Poland to station HIMARS near Russian border. That's going to be an escalation. Pentagon launches experimental space laser. Yay! Is it going to be like under the control of Space Force? It's got to be under control of Space Force. I will not accept anything else. It's got to be Space Force. And they need to have a TV show, right? To where they, I don't know, just blow some shit up randomly like once a week or something. SVB parent company files for bankruptcy. Germany exposes Ukraine asylum trick. U.S. resumes Black Sea drone flights but keeps a distance. Biden questions ICC powers. Well, yeah, because they want your ass too. U.S. security forces brace for possible Trump arrest, says media. Oh, we made it to yesterday's news. Yay! Another sip of coffee. Almost out. Damn it. That's it. The end of the coffee. That's it. I'm done. I think I can hang out for another few minutes. I'll be okay. Seriously, don't cry for me or anything. It's just I'm out of coffee. No reason to get violent now. Calm down. Okay, freak the hell out. I'm out of coffee. U.S. security forces brace for possible... Oh, I read that one. Germany plans highest level Taiwan visit in decades. U.S. lenders preparing for possible bank runs. It's better, than having poopy runs. Anyway, Grim, there's no E, damn it. Grim economic... there was an E after the Grim. That's where I got grime. That's my excuse. Grime economic forecast issued for Germany. Probably shouldn't laugh at that. Met Opera ordered to repay canceled Russian singer, says New York Times. Russia issues ultimatum on grain deal. London Metal Exchange discovers fraud at warehouse. Who'da thunk it? U.S. schizophrenic on criminal court, says Russia. I would agree. Swiss banking giant in talks to buy Credit Suisse, says media. Trump failed to disclose dozens of foreign gifts, says a report. Damn him! Over 800,000 youths volunteer at join military. Or volunteer to, not at. Where'd I get at? Anyway, says North Korean media. China finds Big Four accounting firm. Putin signs stricter law combating fake news about the military. Putin arrives in Crimea for reunification anniversary. Dozens of U.S. banks at risk of repeating SVB collapse, says a study. Police break into former Pakistani PM's home. U.S. ready to sanction Chinese airlines on Russia flights, says New York Times. Ukrainian troops using 19th century arms to defend key city, says the Telegraph. Russia responds to Denmark's Nord Stream probe refusal. You bend over and take it. Or, I don't know. UK funding lunar nuclear reactor. Well, that's good. That's good. I'll be even more impressed when you put a nuclear reactor on Uranus. Trump predicts arrest for Stormy Daniels' payment. Of course, y'all know about that. Chechen leader Chechen leader places bounty on Quran burner. Russia rescued Crimea from Ukrainian poverty, says local leader. France bans protests outside Parliament. I wonder why. Donald Trump returns to Facebook. I'll be back. Let's see. Tony Blair defends Iraq war. Fatal earthquake hits Ecuador. Arrest would deliver Trump 2024 election in a landslide, says Musk. Yes, a nuclear reactor on Uranus. Because, dude, the amount of power that would possess. Dude, I mean, man, Man, that would be far more powerful than the fart box that was being talked about at the beginning on that video I was telling you about on We Are Changes video from today. I'll just say fart box. That's all I'm going to say. You got to go watch the video. It's a riot, man. Hexafruit, if you haven't seen the We Are Change video from today, brother, you have got to watch the beginning of it. You will die. Anyway, it is it's that you think it's gotten dark and then it just keeps going darker. It's good. It's good. Anyway, let's see. Americans view Iraq war as a mistake, says a poll. Top Asian... Oh, actually, we're to today's news. So let me... I'm out of coffee. Damn. Okay, let me have a couple of vapes. I'll add one more word to that. Hillary Sport Box. Hillary Sport Box. Oh, it's bad, dude. It's bad. Okay, so I'm not going to give a lot of details. I'm not going to do no spoiler alert or nothing. But it's a conversation between Obama and Trump, and it's like a deep fake with the voices. Oh, dude. Oh, it's just, yeah. It's rough. Let's see. Top Asian economy urges citizens to abandon Western payment systems. Putin makes surprise visit to Donbass. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, you're gonna. I haven't heard something as funny as that in a long time. Russia exit cost EU automaker almost $700 million. Britain. Sorry, just thinking about it. Britain's facing disastrous decade report. Says a report. I'm gonna have to listen to it again after the show. Putin holds meeting with top generals. Washington seeks banking crisis advice from Warren Buffett, says Bloomberg. Tomato and pork prices soar in Spain, says media. Belgrade and Kosovo closer to normalizing ties, says Vucic. Let's see. Covered that one. And that one. Coca-Cola sales strong in Russia despite exit, says media. Covered that one. Russia reacts to German stance on Putin's arrest warrant. EU country imports cheap Russian veggies despite sanctions, says the media. EU explosive shortage threatens Ukraine, says Financial Times. Vatican embassy shut down in Central American nation. Covered that. Saudi king invites Iranian president to Riyadh, says an official. That's what it was. He invited him. Putin's trip to Donbass was spontaneous, says the Kremlin. Covered that. U.S. trying to pressure Latin American nation on China ties, says Reuters. Let's see. Elon Musk fact-checks Biden on tax claim. Pentagon assesses cancer risks for U.S. pilots. Former Pakistani PM hit with terror charges. Charity defends inclusivity guide with that triggered fact checks. Poland may end up joining Ukraine conflict, says a diplomat. Former Taiwanese president plans historic trip, says media. Swiss banks agree on historic takeover. Covered that and that. UK apologizes to Afghan collaborators, says media. And that's it. We are all caught up. That is it. Thank goodness. I think I am going to make me an ice cream cone. Because I can. Anyway, I am out of here. Gonna go enjoy me an ice cream cone. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow, and maybe I'll have another ice cream cone. And, I hope to see you then. So as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. Enjoy your ice cream cones, and shalom.